Some trade unions have denounced reports that the upcoming BRICS Summit should be moved away from South Africa. Pretoria has been under enormous pressure as one of the BRICS leaders, Russian Federation President Vladimir Putin, is facing an arrest warrant issued by the International Criminal Court over the deportation of Ukrainian children. Trade union NUMSA's Ivan Jim says they are totally opposed to the idea of moving the summits to China or one of the neighboring countries.
We are living today under very difficult conditions with the eruption of this war between Russia and Ukraine. There are people who want to dictate to us what must we say, what must we think. There are people who want to constrain our movement. There are people who are openly saying Putin, if he put his foot on this land of ours, he should be arrested. I think Parks have already said we reject that with contempt it deserves.
Zambia's Socialist Party leader, Dr. Fred Membe, has also put his foot down, insisting that it's South Africa's turn to host the BRICS Summit.
Some are even suggesting that the conference or the meeting, the summit, should be taken elsewhere. Why should it be taken elsewhere? We need it here in our region. And it should take place in our region, and it will take place in our region. And President Putin will attend. I don't see the African National Congress-led government arrest Putin.
Kenyan academic Professor Patrick Lumumba echoed the sentiments and said Africa should choose its own friends.
And I believe and hope that nobody will attempt to arrest President Putin. This ICC, the Treaty of Rome, to which the United States of America has signed but has not ratified, is now being used as a weapon to do the bidding of Western countries. And it's very unfortunate because the United States of America at one time, I think it was during the presidency of Trump, said that if the ICC dared to give any warrant against a citizen of the United States of America, the judges themselves would be arrested. So we must not allow these double standards to happen. I believe BRICS is something that is happening, is a good thing, and I believe President Putin ought to be accommodated in that part of the world. And it cannot be that in this world, when the West and the conceptual West are publicly giving weapons to Ukraine and therefore encouraging the war, and yet they are telling others, no, don't do it. I think it is President Mandela who said, you cannot choose who our friends are going to be.
As African leaders gear up to mediate in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Lumumba reminded the African Peace Mission to also focus on devastating conflicts on their own continents like the Eastern DRC, Northern Mozambique and Sudan.
What I would have loved to see was solving our problems first, because we have problems in Africa. I would have wanted to see that team solving the problems in Sudan, DRC, Congo, Cameroon, and other places before we go outside. You cannot and ought not to leave your house burning and you go and put out fire in another person's house. But I think that is a good initiative, and there is no doubt in my mind that we have the wherewithal. This argument that some countries are big and small does not mean that they're intelligent. The only reason why Europe and America do what they do is because they have military power. It's not even financial power. The reason why America considers itself to be the greatest nation on earth is that it has firepower, and that it can wipe out countries off the surface of this earth. Our weakness stems from our weak military power, which is also exacerbated by our weak economic power. That is why they are strong. That is why they call themselves the G7.
Meanwhile, all eyes will be on South Africa as the BRICS Summit's debate continues to dominate the headlines. Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.